Well. There have been a lot of days sitting in this seat, McAuliffe in his seat, and a lot of people doing incredible sports radio on this station and around North America waiting on stories like this. And it dropped on us in the last 20 minutes. Is there truth in it? I don't care. Content is king. Rob Gronkowski wants out of New England to follow Tom. Let's go! McAuliffe, I don't know why I'm this excited, but I am this excited. How you doing today, friend?
I don't know why you're that excited, Cicero, but as I sit here on this, April 21st, 2020, 40 days, if I'm not mistaken, into the quarantine, into our sports being shut down, and I open my computer and I see Ian Rappaport after an Andy Cohen interview stoke the fire. Sources: retired Patriots tight end Rob Gronkowski has told New England he's interested in playing football again and would want to do it with the Bucs and Tom Brady. I don't know about you, Cicero.
Oh, you can hit like 9 buttons right now. They'd all be valid. Everything is happening, Bob Cole. That's being a personal thing that may have happened last night.
That a doctor might look in with a little flashlight. But
all of them count. I am there with you. I am excited. I have gone to the depth chart of the Buccaneers to make sure that I've got my Cameron Brate down, my O.J. Howard down, and shout out my Anthony Auclair from Laval, who is the third-string tight end on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, soon-to-be third-string tight end, because I'm not hot-taking here. This will get done. If Rob Gronkowski wants to play with Tom Brady and does not want to play with the New England Patriots, the New England Patriots will next man up his ass, send him to Tampa, and get something back. I don't know if they want O.J. Howard. I don't know if they want Cameron Brate, but they will do it, and they will find a way. And then you're going to be looking at Tom Brady, Rob Gronkowski, Mike Evans, and Chris Godwin. Think about that.
Tim, this is not just it's I'm thinking about it and I'm loving it. But this isn't just one tweet that's got me peaked here. Like I'm activated for several reasons. This isn't just one Woj bomb that has come down here in the last 15 minutes or so. Because I got 2 more, Tim. Get the board ready. Oh yeah. Day 40 is where we hit our stride, McAuliffe, in this thing. 2 more tweets I'm going to give you. Have the board ready. So Rappaport drops the Gronkowski thing. We all go, what?
What?
Not long after, thank you. I regret doing it. Not long after, Adam Schefter of ESPN.
Shefty Sheft.
Quote, Shefty Sheft. Little weird, but dialed in. Adam Schefter tweets the following. You don't disagree with me, do you? You don't disagree with me on that, do you? He's kind of a weird guy, but he's really good at his job.
Aren't we all weird?
Okay, point taken. Here's the tweet from Adam Schefter. Get the board ready. Tweet goes as follows. Patriots Buccaneers have been discussing a trade for Rob Gronkowski, or Rob in English. Gronkowski has a year, $10 million left. The two sides are and have been talking prior to Thursday's draft. Hit the board, McAuliffe. They already are talking. Ring the alarm. They are talking.
a douchebag.
Sorry, I just
Why'd
had
you
the last one in. I don't know.
You're going to get a Puerto Rico. Charlie Montoya on Writer's Block tomorrow. Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico.
Have you ever heard of NFL insider Leroy?
No, I haven't.
You haven't?
I haven't, no. But the way I'm feeling right now, I'll believe anything Leroy says, Tim. Leroy was a bad man.
NFL insider Leroy was quoted in an Adam Schefter tweet, and it made my day because NFL insider Leroy just hits things. And on April the 8th, he tweeted out, hearing a wild rumor that has serious legs, Rob Gronkowski is strongly considering a return to the NFL to play for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers with his old teammate Tom Brady. He's been training in Florida in addition to attending WrestleMania. Please credit Leroy. And the best part of the Leroy insider is that at the end of the tweet, he adds a woof woof.
Is that a normal thing that Leroy would do, the woof woof? Or is that just special?
It's like, I don't want to compare him. Like, is Incarcerated Bob, is that the one that you look for?
Is he Cuffs the legend for football? Is he the Cuffs the legend for football?
It's kind of, it's just he does it. He's got 106,000 followers. He throws it out there. And the fact that Schefter credited him is amazing because Leroy's been doing it from time.
All right, well, I'm going to one-up whatever Leroy's throwing out there. Because I got one more here, McAuliffe, that has got me so activated I could barely sit down. I'm so excited about what's happening here. First time I've been walking through the desert for 40 days waiting for this type of news. And
40 days, 40 nights.
40 days, 40 nights. I'm so excited. I'm going to take this microphone to my wife and try and get her to talk. She's going to be so pissed. She'll be so angry with me. I'm so excited. I got one more tweet, Tim. And this is from Daniel Jeremiah from NFL Network. It's pretty good. Underrated NFL guy. Does a lot of work. Daniel Jeremiah 5 minutes ago. Bucks and New England could swap firsts. New England gets 14, Tampa 23. Tua drops to 14. Tua is a Patriot. What? Are you kidding? It could happen because no one trusts the hip. Daniel Jeremiah is not just shooting from the hip. This is already the best draft I've ever seen. There hasn't been a pick. Just the stories of the technical difficulties, Tim, already from these old GMs that have no idea how to zoom. This Rob Gronkowski story, it's all just building up to the best draft ever. Now to the meat and potatoes, Tim. Do you think he'll get traded?
Yes, without a doubt. It's already the second trending.
Without a doubt. Wow.
Yeah, the New England Patriots have made – Bill Belichick has made his career on next man up, and if you don't want to be a part of the Patriot way, we move you out. He will move out, whether it takes – the 5th pick, the 14th pick. I don't care what it takes to get Rob Gronkowski to Tampa or anywhere else for that matter. I think that they will wait. I think they will try their best to procure as much as they can. But I don't see – if Rob Gronkowski says, listen, I'm playing football again, but I'm never playing it with you, you don't think the Patriots just try and get something? And they're already starting over. They've already moved on.
Let's remember the context of what we're talking about here, though. This is not your normal Patriot way move. Tom Brady has left.
Mm-hmm.
Tom Brady, whether Brady wants to acknowledge it or Belichick wants to acknowledge it, has set up a scenario in the football world where we're all looking next season, whenever next season starts, at who has more success without the other, Belichick or Brady. Do you think Bill Belichick is going to hand over one of Brady's ingredients for the secret sauce and make him look like a moron? Do you think that's going to happen easy? I don't think this is happening at all. I love the speculation. There is no way for a 14th pick that he's going to let Brady have his lead dog to one-up him in another conference as these two have a legacy off going forward? There's no way. There's absolutely no way, unless the moon is given. And who knows what Gronk really is right now, to be fair about it. I think you and I can agree on that. A lot of question marks with Gronk. Thought is nice. What do you think, Belichick's? You just left me after 20 years, and I'm going to hand you Gronk?
Mm-hmm.
I look, if it happens, it happens. And it becomes the best story in football with Brady going. I'm very skeptical. I think this is a Tampa team that leaked this, that doesn't feel like it's going anywhere, and they're trying. That's what this reeks of to me. Absolutely reeks. And Rappaport or Schefter, those are the guys you go to. So now the heat's on Belichick. What are you going to do? You're going to sit on Gronk just because you're pissy? You're right, Tim. There's no reason not to do this. He's not part of your team. The problem is where he's going. The problem is where he wants to go. And for that reason, I don't think this will happen. I'm rooting for it to happen. I don't think it'll happen.
When you were yelling no way, it made me feel so good like this was going to happen. Like I have heard the Sid Sixero, there is absolutely no way except if Bill Belichick gets something that he can use. Let's not forget, Rob Gronkowski missed 13 games in the last 3 seasons. Like, the one thing that I know about Bill Belichick is he's never worried what people say about him. And if you think that this is, I'm not trading Rob Gronkowski because Rob Gronkowski could come back to bite me in the ass for however long Tom Brady lasts in Tampa Bay, you haven't been listening to Bill Belichick. Like, I get it. He's got an ego. I would agree with that. But the no way, if you offer him enough for a guy who wasn't going to play a down of football for you, Bill Belichick is sitting there, or Belichick in English, is sitting there with a knife and fork saying, "Thank you, sir. May I have another?" I think you're completely underestimating what the opportunity is here for New England to procure as much as they possibly can out of Tampa or anyone else if they think that they can get Rob Gronkowski.
Well, I'm not saying they won't trade Rob Gronkowski.
You said it's not happening.
He's not going to Tampa. He's not going to Tom Brady. This is a nice thought. Belichick's running that ship. He is not trading Rob Gronkowski unless he's looked under the hood and there's something else with Gronk going on that is even worse than we think.
But Gronk's got the cards here, too. You're acting like Gronk has no cards.
In what way? In what way?
I don't play.
He didn't play last year.
Right.
What changed?
He just stays retired.
What changed? But, okay. How does that change anything for the Patriots? They didn't have him anyway.
They don't get something back for what is a very valuable chip. They get nothing or they get something.
So the exact same thing as last season.
Come on, man.
The exact same thing as last season.
No, the guy is saying, I want to play, and you can get something for it. Even you, Sixero, surely. The guy who says...
Even me. Don't you even me, McCallum.
Even you, the guy who never, ever evolves, can understand that there is an evolution between Rob Gronkowski not ever playing again and Rob Gronkowski saying, I will play, and you can get something for me.
Jay Glazer just tweeted. Just heard from Gronk. Already took his physical for the Bucks. Trade not completed, but he's coming back for Bucks if all goes through.
Oh, didn't even take 5 minutes for you. It's never going to happen.
That took 5 minutes on the take. That's my shortest take ever.
It's amazing.
That took 5 minutes.
Why were we rolling on this one?
Maddie Morgan of Tim and Sid just sends Jay Glazer tweet to our text group and rocks my world. Tim, it's a good point. I think he's going to be a good fit with Tom Brady, and I think they're going to work out just fine. Do they swap picks? Do the Patriots get the 14th? They would have to, right?
Mm-hmm.
You would think. The Bucks also have a couple picks in round 2, according to Ben Volen. I mean, but that 14th pick could be Tua, it could be Jordan Love. If Belichick likes what he sees from the Utah State kid who's getting a lot of pub, I don't know. But it took me 5 minutes to be floored on this one, Tim. 5 minutes. Wow.
Do we give credit to PMT, pardon my take? Because I know that Leroy is the burner account, but I wasn't going to give credit. And then one of the members of our team is screaming at me to give Barstool some credit. So do I give them credit or just those who know?
I think you just did.
Well, no, but I want to make the point about those who know. And that's the part of the equation that I was throwing out there. But whatever. We're going to give them credit because there's people out there that think that I need to give credit where... All
right, well, you just did, so stop yelling at Tim during the show. Yeah, we're doing a show with no content prior to today, like every day, so stop yelling at Tim. Tim, can I ask you a dumb question? based on what you did. We'll get back to this Brady thing. We're going to get back to the whole show. Why does a social media presence like Barstool, and I'm being honest.
Hold on. Stop the presses. If Gronk gets traded, this from Jeff Azzopardi, producer, Tim and Sid.
He's not a source. The hell
does he need to relinquish his WWE 24/7 title?
Oh, for the love of God. That's the input you felt was needed in this moment from Jeff Azzopardi, booker of this show, and whose nose is a little bigger than it should be. That's the input.
By the way,
really?
the part of my take, Barstool burner accounts allow them to go even further. That's why they do the burner accounts.
But if everyone knows if everyone knows they're a burner account, what's the point? I guess not everyone knows is what you're saying.
That's the joke.
I see.
They're the counterculture. That's the joke. And they got the woof woof from Adam Schefter, which is what they were hoping for the entire time when they did it.
Maddie Morgan, who runs our social media here at Tim and Sid, if you want to timestamp how that played out here on the show between Tim and I, you have my permission. Because that is the craziest thing. That's one of the crazier moments Tim and I have ever had, whether we can see each other or not. I was so adamant about something for 1 second, and it blew up in my face.
Yeah, but
maybe
Maddie
less
Morgan...
than 5 minutes later. It wasn't even 5 minutes. It was less than 5 minutes. Less than 5 minutes.
But Maddie Morgan didn't have to tell me that Jay Glazer tweeted and that he just heard from Gronk and he's already taken his physical for the Bucs. I knew when Sid Sixero pronounced this is never going to happen. I said that before Matt Morgan sent through that note. I knew. I told you. I knew. Did I say I knew when I told you? I told you, Sid Sixero, this was going to happen.
I heard you say, I'm also agreeing with you, but I'm less strong about my opinion. That's what I heard you say. I thought I heard you say that. We need to run it back.
The best part about this is not only do you have the strong Gronk take, don't you also have to have the strong O.J. Howard take? Isn't that a part of the equation? Like, isn't O.J., like, I know he hasn't lived up to his hype, but he is still a pretty good tight end that could make something valuable.
You would assume that's part of this, right? Look, O.J. Howard's been on the block for a couple of years. So if you're telling me Gronk has taken his physical and this deal is basically done, there's two items that if I'm a Patriot, see, here's the deal. If you're a Patriot fan reading this now, you're like, I want to see two things immediately. O.J. Howard is one, and that 14th overall pick is the other. If either of this is missing here, the Bucs have made themselves a hell of a deal. A hell of a deal. Because we don't know the details yet. Oh, this is so good. I don't care.
Do you think it's Tua? Do you think? And let me ask you this: if in fact this is a swapping of the first round picks, do you think there is a team between wherever you originally had Tua going, whether it be 5, whether it be 6, whether it be 12? Do you think there is a team that thinks if Bill Belichick just made this move to get Tua at 14? I'm going in and I am going to either call New England and say we're taking him or actually take him.
I mean, Tim, I'm looking at all the picks past 5. Like the Dolphins and Chargers have been linked the whole time. So they're at 5 and 6.
Right.
Let's say Tua
But we
drops.
know that's also Justin Herbert, right?
Justin Herbert, correct. But let's, for the sake of your point that you're making, let's say Tua drops out of the 5-6 spot. So I'm looking at the next pick. So Carolina, Teddy Bridgewater, they're not bringing in Tua. Arizona, Kyler Murray, they're not bringing in Tua. Jacksonville at 9, Tim, I know everyone loves the Gardner Minshew story. Spare me. If you think Tua Tagovailoa is a real guy and you trust what the doctor of the Tennessee Titans said today, that the hip is not susceptible to injury because he's the only guy in the league that really looked at him, why not at 9? Like, I would really look at Jacksonville there if Tua's available. Okay, so let's say Jacksonville passes, though. Cleveland at 10, they're not taking Tua. The Jets at 11, Sam Darnold, they're not taking, because Baker Mayfield's the best quarterback in football. Doesn't any Cleveland Brown fan tell you that? Is it Baker Mayfield's a guy?
Here's what you've left out, and I know that we're tight on time here, but here's what you left out. Even if you believe that Tua is somewhat healthy, would it be the wrong thing to have him sit for a year? I know we're in the era of you can't sit and wait, but some of the greatest quarterbacks in the history of time, including the one that we're talking about, Gronk joining, sat and waited for a while. So even if you have Gardner Minshew or Baker Mayfield, if they poop their pants and you've drafted Tua, you can just have them sitting there waiting, which is probably good for quarterbacks to do. I mean,
they got Case Keenum in Cleveland too. Like I like your thought, but I think they thought Case Keenum's going to be that guy in Cleveland to push Baker. So I don't see Tua going there.
Did you just give me a Case Keenum?
I'm just telling you, he's physically there. Like he's on the roster. I'm not saying I like it. I'm saying he's there. I'm looking for spots where Tua could fall to, is what you asked me initially, and I'm just going through the list. The Raiders picked up Marcus Mariota, and they got
they're done.
Derek Carr.
Done, yeah.
Well, Derek. No, I'm saying they have two guys. They have two. You're going to draft Tua Tagovailoa to make him the third guy?
No, you can trade one of the other guys. Like there is a bunch of things that you could do, and you could sit Tua or you could start Tua. And by the way, quoting the Titans doctor, like, how much did Titans ownership give him to just say, hey, clean bill of health. He's good. Yep. Let's go.
Well, he is a hip specialist, Tim. His reputation's on the line. I'm just saying. But that happens all the time in this, and you're right. I'm just saying, Tim, it's plausible. It is plausible to make the argument that if Tua slips past 5 and 6, he could be there at 14 because the Niners are at 13. They're not getting a quarterback. It could happen.
Sid, what I'm telling you on this April 21st, 40 days into quarantine, I'm telling you, plausible. Anything's plausible.
Anything after what I just had happen to me in this block, yes. Anything is plausible, Tim. Anything is plausible.
That was classic 6-0.
Fun. We should have the cameras rolling now. That was fun.